BedWars needs this, BedWars needs that. Yeah, we've all said it before. BedWars needs lots of things. It's been a long time since I made a suggestions list. The last couple suggestion lists that I did, actually, most of them are in the game now. So looking at one of my old videos here, I did recommend this like MVP screen, which they did add to the game. I also recommended weapon skins, which we're going to get to in a minute here, but I recommended a bunch of different weapon skins. They never added that. I did recommend kit skins, and they did add that. So there are kit skins, much like League of Legends. I did recommend night mode, but they didn't really add that until recent, and even then it wasn't really a true night mode. I did have an idea for more value to battle passes, and they did add a lot of new stuff. They added like lobby gadgets and all kinds of things. I did recommend a demo man kit. So this is basically the remote explosives that we have now, but instead of a kit, they actually made it just an item. And then last man standing, we still don't really have. We kind of have a gun mode, but we don't really have a true last man standing. Also capture flag, they did give us that. Balancing kits, they've been doing that quite a bit. They did add the UGC maps, which is awesome. Islands rewards, they never added. An FOV setting, they did add. And fixing arrows, they kind of fixed it a little bit, but not really. And then a balloon counter, they did actually add with snowballs. So it's pretty cool seeing a lot of these features that I suggested get added. So a lot of the feedback I gave the devs before and suggestions have been implemented in the game, which is really awesome. But because of that, it's been a while since I've done one of these videos. And so now it is time to go through the top 10 things I think BedWars should add. And hopefully we'll see some of these get added in the near future. So first up, obviously we have this awesome new feature called custom maps. And I'm not talking about custom matches. I'm talking about custom map saves here. This was a really, really great feature that the devs added, which includes creative mode, so we can make our own maps. But with the success of this new feature comes the need for so many new things. We need a lot more tools and support for creative mode. One of them being better map discovery. So wouldn't it be cool if you could go and see all the different creations players have been making versus having to use some database? I am working on bedwarsmaps.com, but that's going to take a little bit longer because I'm still going through all the entries from the contest. We got a lot of winners coming, so hopefully you're going to see some really cool maps. But the problem is what happens after that? You got to keep going to a website to be able to find all these cool maps. What if they made it so that similar to islands, published islands, if you could actually publish maps and sponsor them or promote them so that people could check them out. Say I really like this map, I can go and host almost like a lobby matchmaking, so you can see all the different pending lobbies waiting for players. If there's 16 players allowed inside of a new lobby and it's on maybe the sniper battles map, for example, maybe someone's hosting a sniper towers match and there's a couple of slots that you can join, then it's just more like a public lobby matchmaking system, and it'd be kind of cool. I don't think it would be that hard for them to do too. The second piece here is kind of related to the last one, which is more tools for creative mode. There's a lot of things that we need to be able to continue to make really cool maps. One of them being we do need a lot more void maps. Currently, the void map only works for squads. So you can see right here, BedWars squads. It only works in squads mode. So at the bottom here is void. What if we wanted to make a custom map though for a different mode? What if I wanted to make an infected mode, or if I wanted to make a gun game map, or capture flag map, or disasters or duels, things like that. So it'd be really nice, even Lucky Blocks or Bed Royale. For the most part, squads is going to do most of the work for us, but that's just one example. The other thing is having more slots. So we're limited to 3 slots. Wouldn't it be nice to be able to have maybe 10 or more slots, especially if you're a map builder like me? Right now I have 15 accounts that I have to use, and in fact I've got to create more of them just for saving more maps. That's how many maps I keep creating. And because I post the codes for each of my maps, I can't exactly go back and delete maps just to make space for them. So now I've got to manage a whole list of wait, which map was that made by again? Was that my other alt? Which account was that? So it's kind of a big hassle to be able to manage that. We also need better tools in general for controls and settings for maps. We'd also like to have a way to be able to show map instructions. So what are the configuration options that are best for this? So saving that configuration setting as part of our map save would be kind of cool. So that way, people know, okay, you got to set everyone's health to this or that. So I have a whole list of ideas for, improving the custom maps experience in creative mode, but I won't go through all of them in this video, but just, more tools in general for custom map saves would be really, really cool. Now with number 8 is kind of a big one. Okay. This is a really, really big one. And that is a proper ranked match. Unfortunately, ranked is not very good. Everyone knows ranked is kind of a big mess. And it's not just because the queue style, the fact that there's hackers and such. The issue is more about the mode itself. The mode itself is not the right mode for ranked. It's actually disastrous. There's so much RNG involved with this. There's kit issues. So if the devs put out a kit change, it completely breaks the ranked experience. Suddenly the ranked meta gets all messy too. To me, a ranked experience should be the most fair and equally skilled mode there is versus pay to win. The fact that ranked is so pay to win is kind of cringe, especially as a ranked player. I have nightmare rank, and that was a lot of work. There's so many broken aspects regarding the economy inside ranked. The meta in ranked is really broken, the fact that you just jug people. The other problem with ranked is it's 4 teams of 4. 4v4, which makes it really, really bad. So if you're a content creator or if you're a good clan, you're going to pretty much get targeted by the entire map because they want you out first. And that's a big problem for ranked. So, you know, a 4v4 would make a whole lot more sense for ranked, gives you a lot more fairness. There's no chance of getting targeted in that case because how can you get targeted if there's only one other team, you know? And I actually really think that it could be kitless too, because like I said, as soon as the devs add like a limited item, or at least no limited items, like don't add like snow cones and such, like don't add in RNG aspects of it. But even then, all you need is a good metal. So like if you have metal detector, you get a good metal luck, then you're pretty much pearl into the enemy, you know, bed and taking it out within seconds. So it's too RNG. I kind of dislike ranked specifically because of the RNG, also because the hackers really focus this mode. But I feel like ranked needs a little bit of a shake up for it to be fresh and exciting again, because right now it's kind of just dead and dry. It's, you know, honestly, I prefer going squads most of the time now. It's less sweaty, it's less serious, and it's just more fun because then I could screw around with different kits. Next up with number 7 is weapon cosmetics. This is something that I've been suggesting for some time now. It was in my last video, and imagine if you can go in here and your, you know, normal sword for Cobalt is like neon, or even just like different like animations, or like maybe during for like 4th of July weekend, you got like the Patriot sword, or you got like a flame sword, or you got a DV sword, or you got, so you can like do YouTuber skins, you know, you can have a Maddie sword, you could have a tanker sword, you could have a mini sword. There's so many content creators, you know, Spec. There's so many content creators you could do skins for, even just swords. That'd be really cool. So weapon skins would be really neat, like crossbow, bow. I mean, they already started it a little bit with Vanessa. I mean, she's got like a really cool bow. So why couldn't we do that? Even with the Barbarian has it. So, you know, you can see the Barbarian sword. They already have skins. So why not like just do weapon skins? That would be crazy, crazy cool. With number 6, I had an idea of just adding trading, because inside of Rift Royale, you notice that they had trading as something that was coming soon. Well, imagine if they added trading to BedWars specifically for weapon cosmetics. Imagine if they can add enough cosmetics to create a trading economy in the game, it would be insane. The main concern on this is obviously duping. So they, you know, they really need to have a really secure system for that, like maybe serialize all weapon skins or something. But imagine if all the weapon skins were, you know, limited, you can unlock them, and then you can grind for them. They're secret ones, so like you have to do it through achievements. Maybe you have to meet a content creator to get theirs, things like that. Man, imagine how cool weapon skins would be in the game to collect, because then it would just add another aspect of the game that was kind of fun to grind for and trade. So like maybe you just didn't feel like grinding BedWars today, but maybe you just wanted to trade for value and stuff to be able to just have a cool collection of flex. That would be really, really cool. In fact, I can see myself doing just streams of just like trading skins. That'd be fun. Now with number 5 would be a free-for-all mode, and this is kind of an important one because I need this so that players stop joining too many on the same team. So like during my custom maps, I wish I could have a free-for-all mode, because imagine doing like a King of the Hill, like a true King of the Hill match, or a last man standing type match. I can't do that currently because the free-for-all mode does not exist currently in the game. So imagine we can actually have a free-for-all mode where, you know, it's just pretty much last man standing, or, you know, we could even do like Among Us style games. Basically, then no one's really on the same team. And speaking of modes, with number 4 is a hide and seek LTM. Imagine, you know how everyone really, really misses, you know, prop hunt? Well, they already made all those props and cool items. Why couldn't we do prop hunt in BedWars? Like, I don't think it ever needed to be a separate game. Imagine a blocky version of prop hunt, but inside BedWars. That'd be so cool. So imagine, you know, having like the little cones around, you can like convert into those, but it's in like a blocky environment. They could use all of these same maps too, potentially. Even like 30v30 maps would be a good size. And it would probably be easy to even make just like straight up blocky worlds that are, you know, lots and lots of hiding spots with tons of props on them. I don't think this would be a very difficult mode for them to pull off, but I could see myself playing lots and lots of hide and seek. And imagine, you know, a lot of the hide and seek maps that we've done already, like inside here, imagine if I could do it on a hide and seek mode where I'm actually like, all I got to do is, you know, find people, tag them, and then, or zap them, and they're back to spectate. So it's kind of the same thing, right? But with an actual mode. That'd be really cool. Now with number 3 is a controversial one. A lot of players may not agree with me on this one, and I know a lot of pro players will agree with me on this one, even though that they, you know, they kind of abuse this a lot. It's having a CPS cap, and I'm not just talking about building so you can't do stuff like this, right? But I'm also talking about swords. The problem with the unlock CPS is you shouldn't be able to do this. That should not be possible. And I get that there's butterfly clickers, there's jitter clickers. I click really, really fast myself, but not to the degree of like 25 clicks per second, okay? So you shouldn't be able to do this, especially when you're falling in the void. When people fall in the void and they're like, what are you talking about, void? Or if you're getting like shot by a bow and you're just like, dude. Like, this is just sad. And the fact that you could just kind of go across an entire map like this. But not only does building need to be like turned off for this, but also swords. The common excuse that I've heard is like, if I call someone out with an auto clicker or too high CPS, they always tell me I butterfly click. Well, here's the thing. Should you be able to do this, even if it's butterfly clicking, even if it's not an auto clicker, do you think it's okay for someone to do this in a match? Do you think it's fair? I think the answer is obvious. I don't think you need to answer that one. It's pretty much rhetorical. So I think this one's an easy one for the devs if they were to go and just add a, some kind of limit. Now, the last time that they implemented one, it was like too harsh. A lot of players were complaining because they were falling in the void because it was so slow, especially on mobile. It wasn't so bad on PC, but from what I understand on mobile, it was like half the speed of PC. And when I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, that's pretty bad. It never needs to be that fast. That's just insane. Now, the next one we're going to talk about is the economy. So the economy and gearing. So basically game progression. So there's a couple aspects of this, right? So obviously we have 3 currencies. We have iron here, we've got emeralds, and then we got diamonds. Those are the main currencies currently in the game. In some cases, you could probably combine a couple other things like, candy and such, but we're not really going to get into those like kit specific currencies. Now, the problem with this is splits. So obviously you can currently split the iron generator. This is a big problem currently in the game because players are really, really smart about doing this, and they essentially will jug a player. If you didn't see my jug video, definitely check that out. It is a crazy powerful strategy if you don't use it currently. But you also have diamond generators, and there's so many diamond generator like kits now that gameplay progression in the game, where it used to be fun, is now just kind of crazy. It's so easy to get like emerald armor so quick in the game. The fact that someone can get a tier 3 generator within under 2 minutes is a problem to me. That's not a fun game. That's not a good design for progression. It's too fast. Like tier 3 should be a little bit more late game, not like within the first 2 minutes of the game, okay? The other problem is, the fact that you can jug. Now, Egypt has to be one of the most balanced maps there are because, check this out. See this generator here? You actually spawn on the generator, making it impossible for you to be able to manage splits properly. So, for example, if I were to jump off right here, I'm going to spawn into the generator. And here I am. See, now I just took the gen. Now, why this is important as far as gameplay balance goes is I'm spawning on the generator, taking the iron. If my team was not in split position when I died, I would steal the generator and I would not be able to split with them. It just cost them a bunch of resources. So that is crazy, crazy good for balancing the game because right now, split strategy is huge. It's kind of abused a lot. If you don't understand what splits are, then this will make no sense to you. But most of you who watch me a lot should know what splits are by now. So this map here is actually really brilliant because the fact that you do spawn on the generator, you have a lot less resources going on. Now, if someone dies less, then they're going to be able to have more successful splits. But if you're taking higher risks, you're going to lose your splits. Now, I think all of the maps should have this setup so it ruins the splits. The other thing I think they should do is disable emerald splits and treat emeralds the same way as diamonds, and also to move the diamond stacks back to their original amounts because they did increase them to 6. So diamonds currently pull up to 6, and that's a big problem. So they used to pull up to like, I think wasn't it 4 or 5, and then they increased it to 6, which makes things like crazy fast for gameplay. So you're progressing a lot faster. You're also getting tier 3 faster. So if they were to, change that. The other thing that most players would agree with me on, at least most pro players I've talked to, they all agree for the most part that we need to have 2 emerald pearls back. So the fact that these are still 1 emerald is really crazy. So you used to have to decide between balloons and pearls. Nowadays you have 4 emeralds. You basically buy this and you buy 2 of these. That's just too many. This was a change that the devs added, and as soon as the devs added this, we were all like, oh no, because it was a really big buff for pearls, and it really changed the game to just be an avoidance simulator. Like, this game used to be so good. Like, the original version of BedWars was so fun. You would get bowed off of bridges. Like, that was so much fun with the knockback. I used to bow a lot, knock people. That was so fun. Now people, barely even get knocked. Like, the knockback is so bad. Like, especially if you have an FPS unlocker, you barely get any kind of knockback now. You get more knockback from a sword than you do an actual arrow. Nowadays, everyone's got an auto clicker going. The swords are so fast now. Like, you can't really even do one-tap method. Like, there's so many balance issues in progression and gameplay that the game has just gone really dry and just repetitive. So hopefully some of these things, as far as economy balance, the damage balance, knockback, all that kind of stuff get rebalanced again, as well as the gameplay progression. I know it's a lot to ask for in one go, and it's basically saying revamp the entire game because it's not fun, which sadly I think it kind of does need it. But finally, we got with number 1 is keybinds. So This is so we don't have to have super long fingers to be able to reach these keys. I don't know about you, unless you're on mobile, these are like near impossible to hit. For me, I can reach 4 through 5 pretty easily. And then once you get into 6, 7, 8, and 9, it's near impossible. Anyway, let me know what you think the devs should add to the game. Obviously, I'm trying to go for like big features here. They're going to be helpful for everyone, not just myself. And obviously to make the game a more enjoyable experience for all. So thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you all in the next vid. Peace.